So I think for people who are absolutely alone right now, there's something that I'm noticing. Couple of clients share this last week, in fact, that they're beginning to develop this defense mechanism that, do we really need a partner? We are self-reliant and we are independent, and it's okay if we don't have a partner. So just to kind of cover up the vulnerability of not being able to find a partner, they're kind of making sense of the situation and saying that we are fine all alone, which is not healthy in the long run, right? That kind of a belief system. So understanding that loneliness can be acute, which is immediate in my environment. Since I'm alone right now, I feel a sense of loneliness, and it can be long term, or a general sense of a general need for a long term partner or companion is another type of loneliness, right? So what a lot of people are experiencing right now is the immediate loneliness, that I don't have anybody around me to talk to and connect with, which we can do with connecting with people online. And I know some people who are comfortable with online and virtual dating. A lot of people are not comfortable with online dating. So if you are somebody who are okay with talking to strangers online, then this is a good opportunity for you to try that out. If you are somebody who are not comfortable with talking to strangers online, you can think about people you have connected in the past, you've met through mutual friends and probably never met again. Sometimes it happens that we have acquaintances and we have people who we've met once or twice, and that gives us a sense of familiarity, that okay, this person knows this friend also, so I am okay talking to them or initiating a conversation with them. So thinking of past ties and thinking of acquaintances, that can be comforting for some people. And since we have some time at our hand to kind of have conversations and reconnect with people, re-strengthen bonds, this could be one option for people. Another one that we discussed was, getting a pet, if that is something that you're fond of, and something that you can afford in terms of time, energy as well, because it takes up a lot of time in the day. Um, so yeah, these are some of the things that you can do. I think the online dating is coming up a lot, but from what I have heard from most of the young people, they are not absolutely okay with, virtually connecting with somebody. Although they all have tried these apps, they all have right swiped, and they all have initiated conversations, but they don't end up making meaningful connections, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. What do you think? What kind of feedback are you getting from people, in case you are?
Are you asking me or Renuka?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay, so I'm actually so the feedback that I'm getting is twofold. One is most people are not really initiating relationships right now through online dating apps. They're kind of tired. Everyone's kind of going through a tough time. They just want
Yeah.
to like be with what's familiar, definitely. The other most interesting feedback that I've been getting, and I would really like to know from Renuka some insight on how to do this like co- correctly, which is the use of masturbation and sex toys. And the reason I've asked Dr. Renuka's input is because we did a lot of conversations on sex toys and STIs. So, like coming from that angle, but I definitely have been hearing that masturbation has become one way of dealing with a lot of stress, whether it's work from home or like sexual frustration of being alone, not being able to really connect with people and things like that. And I definitely think that's, I mean, if you're doing it in a way that actually makes you happy and you're okay with it, then that's perfectly healthy. And it's also less of a hassle than getting a pet. But if you want to get a pet, that's great too. But so that's kind of the perspectives that I'm getting. And there's mostly a fear, I think, more from like in terms of relationships and dating, it's mostly this complete like desire for just like meeting people, like meeting friends and meeting like having parties and things like that. I think it's really like I think collectively we're accepting the death of like our social life. And I think that's the real fear that people are grappling with. Renuka, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. So I don't think it's the death of our social life. I think we are, like Saloni said, we are redefining the normal. We are redefining our social life in terms of what does it mean to now hang out. Like we all have those 40 people family Zoom calls where no one can hear a thing, but you're still there on it and you say hello and everyone's glad to see your face. As far as masturbating and using sex toys goes, yes, definitely these have been. If I'm researching like articles that have been put up, and these are definitely good ways to do it. Masturbation releases endorphins, which makes you feel good, which relieves your stress and anxiety. I know, of course, Saloni could speak more to that, but from my perspective, as long as these things do not interfere with other aspects, or masturbation does not increase to the extent that it affects your work, that it affects your other relationships and your other commitments, it is great. You could definitely use it as a way to reduce your stress, your built up, like if you have sexual tension and you feel that you need to release that energy, it's a great way to do it. And I think sex toys as well is, you could explore, you could try out different things, as long as you know that they need to be cleaned properly and used properly and sterilized. So make sure you don't get any other infection on the way to avoiding COVID.
Just to add one last thing. So I remember, I'm sure a lot of you have seen, and if you have, we'd love to know. If you guys have seen Lust Stories, it's on Netflix. It's like a whole series of films about love and lust and stuff. And the last one features sex toys. And it's actually a vibrator that's been confiscated by Neha Dhupia's character, and then she uses it, and I mean it's quite a bold choice, so I'm like all for that. But then the other character, Kiara Advani, also uses the same vibrator, and I would just like to say, please, if you're using a sex toy that has been used by someone else, please sterilize it, please clean it. That's really important. No one here is going to judge you for like using a sex toy, but please don't do what Kiara Advani did. Because after like a heightened sense of fear of infection, I think that's one thing that really like bothered me.